Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. Today I'm going to show you the first of 3 cards that I made using my dies, but in a different way. Dies cut. I'm using my dies to emboss. And I'm going to show you 3 different cards this week. The first one is very simple, and I want to show you that with my oval layering kit, my oval layering framelits, I was able to make not only this beautiful oval shape, but if you can see right here, it's got a little lip to it. It's embossed, and I did that using my dies. And again, the dies are the layering ovals, and this is Stampin' Up! Does sell these in different shapes: ovals, circles, and squares. And this oval set has 15 ovals, and it nests beautifully. So you have the scallop ovals and you have the regular ovals. So I'm going to use 2 that you can pick any size, but they do need to nest for my project. For paper, I have a piece of thick Whisper White cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of Old Olive, which is 4 7/8 by 5 5/8. And then I have a piece of this great designer series paper, and it's in the new holiday catalog. It's called Under the Mistletoe, and it has some really great designs to it. This one would be great with the card I'm making too, and it's just beautiful. This one would be good as well. And then for stamp sets, I am using the Snowflake Sentiment. This carried over from last year, and I just love it. You can use it for season's greetings when you don't want to say Merry Christmas, or when you want to say Merry Christmas. There are quite a few sentiments that have Christmas, but I like this one for the inside. It's wishing you a season of joy, a season of cheer, but most of all, a wonderful year. So you can also use that for a New Year's card. So the first thing we're going to do is make this centerpiece here, because the rest of it is just a piece of cake. So Stampin' Up! Has introduced in the new catalog their embossing mats. And they come with a silicone plate, kind of a thick gray rubber mat, and a thin blue rubber mat. And with these, depending on the sandwich you make, you can cut and you can emboss. And on the instructions, it also gives you the sandwiches for what you're going to do, what you're planning on doing, whether you're embossing or cutting. Now, if I look on the instructions here, the sandwich that Stampin' Up! Is telling me to do for my particular project is my regular plate, then my cutting plate, the platform, a regular cutting plate, my die, my paper, my embossing mat, and then the white pad. I don't like doing it this way because I like to be able to see my die on top of my paper so that I have no surprises at the end. So what I do is I make my sandwich and then just turn it over. And I tried it both ways, doing it the way Stampin' Up! Recommends it and doing it my own way, and the impression is the exact same. So that being said, I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and I'm going to use my platform. Going to use the white plate that comes with the matting package. Then I'm going to use the thicker mat, which is the gray one. And then I'm going to put my scrap piece of white paper in it. And for this particular project only, I'm going to put my smaller oval, and I'm going to put it blade side up. And you'll see why in a minute. Then I'm going to put my acrylic plate, and I'm going to run it through. Now, when I take this off, here's what I get. But if I flip that over, see how I have that raised, and it gives it like a frame? This part here, the middle, if you look at it this way, the way it ran through, the middle is raised. If you flip it over, the middle is debossed, and the outside, the impression of the framelit gives it a frame. So now I'm going to cut that out. So with that, I'm going to do it normally. I'm going to bring in my magnetic platform, one cutting plate, and put my paper, and then the larger oval, and I'm going to just center that so it has a nice even border. Another plate. Oh, I think that moved. Nope. And then I'm going to run that through. And when I take it out of the machine, I have this really cool looking oval, and it looks like it's framed. You could also play with the stitched shapes and get that, give it another layer of dimension, but I just thought this was just so cool, and I really hope you can see the dimension and the depth in that. And now the rest of it is just really very simply putting the card together. I have my old olive ink pad, and I'm going to stamp up the stamp that says wrapped in the warmth of Christmas, and I'm going to just center that right there. Straight down, straight up. Now I'm going to put my card together. Here's my snail. And look at the back side of this beautiful paper. I thought this was great to use with this sentiment because that kind of, it's warm. It's great little checkered pattern. It just looks like it's warm and cozy. So I'm going to center that on this. And before I attach it to my card base, I'm going to put some ribbon on it. And this is a ribbon that's in the new holiday catalog. And it's a stitched edged ribbon, and it's in old olive. I just think it's so pretty. And again, it seems like a nice, it goes with the whole plaid and the warmth sentiment. So I'm going to just cut a little piece here and make a bow in the center of my card. Center that just a little better. And remember, when you're making a bow, you can manipulate your ribbon. I don't have that even. You can manipulate your ribbon any way you want so that your bow is just where you want it. And there's my bow. I'm going to play with that just a bit to get it to look exactly how I want it to look. I'm going to play with that offline. I'll be right back. Okay, there's my bow looking the way I want it to look, and now I'm just going to trim my tails. And now I'm going to attach this onto my card base. Again, just using my snail. And I like this wider white border. I just think that adds a lot to it. Now I'm going to turn this over, and with my dimensionals that were right here, here they are. I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals going to center that right there, or wrapped in the warmth of Christmas. Now I'm going to do the inside, and I know I don't usually do the inside with you guys, but I do want to show you that this one stamp set is a complete card. You don't need any other stamp sets. So again, with my Old Olive, I'm going to stamp up the greeting that says, wishing you a season of joy, a season of cheer, but most of all, a wonderful year. And I'm going to put that right in the center. And then I'm going to come in with some real red to pick up the red that's in the gingham. And with this little image right here, I'm going to decorate the inside of my card because we don't want any cards going out without being decorated on the inside. And just add that little tiny corner piece. And there we have it. A very quick, simple Christmas card. This is going to be one of my Christmas cards because I have this paper and I'm going to use it. And I just love the way this makes the only way I can describe it, if you can't see it on camera good, is if you're looking at a plate and you have that lip on a plate. That's exactly what it is, because this is it's down, it's debossed a little bit, and then the edge of it is just up. It just adds such a nice little touch. And there you have it. If you have any questions about this project or any of the products I've used, please visit me at my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com, and there I will list all of the cutting dimensions, and I'll show some up-close pictures. And while you're there, I suggest that you subscribe to my newsletter by hitting the subscribe tab. And I do send out a newsletter once a week, usually on Tuesday. Sometimes life gets in the way and it happens on Wednesday. But my newsletters will have a recap of all the projects that I've posted that week, and some projects that I don't get to post on YouTube, but I do post on my blog, as well as any information about upcoming promotions that Stampin' Up! Is having, as well as promotions that I personally am offering for all of my customers and subscribers. So I hope you'll come back later this week and we'll see another card using our dies to emboss. Thanks so much.